Now you may notice my notepad looks a little strange. This is Notepad 2, you can download it online free. Just have to like Notepad 2 download in Google. It has a syntax highlighter for assembly and like all the other good programming languages. And it's much simpler than Notepad++. You may look at my code here and you may wonder what it's going to do. But you shouldn't be wondering if you wouldn't pay attention to the tutorials and examine it a little. So here I move in Hello World into SI. Then I jump to 200, and then I use this to display SI or Hello World. But then what happens is my code ends. And now my code's ended, so none of this code actually happens. So as you can see, if you write debug test.asm CLS and we write test, it's just going to say hello world and end it. It's not going to say press any key to continue. It's not going to pause it. But you may say, well, if I add jump 100 and jump back to 100, I can continue with the rest. Well, no, because then it'll hit jump 200 again and jump back. What we're going to use is something called calls. Calls are like jumps, but they're temporary jumps. It's kind of like you're jumping to a position of data, but you have a string attached to you, and it's waiting until it should pull back on the string to pull you back to where you were. So let's replace these jumps with calls. Call, call. And now, see where int20 is? Let's protect that with a ret command, which means return. So now what's going to happen, it's going to call 200. So it's going to jump down to 200, but when it sees the return command, it's going to go all the way back up to the position in data right after your call. So it's going to pull back on that string and pull you right back after your call. So now it's going to continue with this. See the next call, go down to here. When it sees the return command, go back up to the call, and then continue with the code. So another way to think of call is it's kind of like you're taking this information and sticking it in here. It's not exactly that, but that's kind of one way to think of it. So what this will do, think of 200 as your print string function. We kind of defined our own little function. We move our string into 250, then all we have to do is call or remove our string into SI, then all we have to do is call 200, which is here, and it'll display SI. So we change SI to 275, display SI again. Now we can save that, debug test.asm, CLS, test, hello world, press any key to continue. I guess it would look better if I put a 0A, 0D there. Or no, I think it's a 0D, 0A. Hello world, press any key to continue. See, this is just a short tutorial. It's going on calls. Calls, like I said, are like jumps, but they're temporary jumps. It jumps to the position in data, but when it hits the return command, RET, it's going to jump all the way back up to right after your call and continue on with your codes. So, that's a good thing about calls. You can kind of make your own little functions. Such as this one, I made it take SI and it displays the string of SI, and then also all I have to do is change SI, then call in 200 to display a string. And that's it for this tutorial. I tried to make this one really quick because it's a simple thing to understand.